What's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. And it is time for Tipsy Tuesday. Tonight we are going to be talking about why you need to stop shrinking. Okay, now if you are new to Tipsy Tuesday, what we do is we take some sips, and I am sipping on a little Moscato tonight. So we take some sips as I share some tips. Okay, so like I said, tonight's topic, we're going to talk about why you need to stop playing small, why you need to stop shrinking. Okay, so especially if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, and need to get out there. Now, before I get into it, I have 10 things that I'm going to be talking about with you guys today. Let me just check my social media accounts and make sure I am good on all ends before we get started. Good, okay? So let me see. Check here. I hope y'all have been having a good week so far. I know I did not go live last week. I said that I was trying to get a pre-recorded video out to you guys, but I didn't have a chance to do that before I went on vacation. But you should see me the rest of this month. I shouldn't miss any days. So let me check one other spot, and then we're going to get into these 10 tips of why you need to stop shrinking and you need to be able to be bold to go to your next level. Okay. All right. So we are good on all ends. All right. So I don't know. You might be like, I don't be playing small, but you probably are after I go through some of these things that we are going to be looking at and that we are going to be examining. Okay. Because a lot of times we play small because we say, oh, I'm just being humble. But playing small is not being humble. There's a difference. Playing small is not being humble. When you play small, that is actually harmful to you. So you do need to know the difference between being humble, okay, and you actually playing small, okay? Your next level, it needs the full version of you. The full version, not the filtered version, not the watered down version. It needs the full version of you, okay? So when you play small, you're not showing up fully as your full self, okay? So we're going to talk about some things that get in the way of us showing up as our full self, and we're going to talk about what we can start doing differently so that we can stop shrinking, we can stop playing small, and we can start walking boldly into our next level, because this month I'm going to be focusing on leveling up. So this is our new season. We're almost at the halfway point of the year. If you have not achieved the goals and things that you wanted to achieve, that you said that you were going to do at the top of the year, stay tuned for the month of June for the Tipsy Tuesday, because we are going to be talking about how you're going to shift some things around so that you can end this last half of the year strong. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing I have about why you need to stop shrinking so that you can level up is shrinking isn't exactly noble. All right. Like we talked about, shrinking isn't you being humble. It can actually be harmful. So you're not being noble, you're being neglectful. And some of the things that can cause you to shrink is, one, you could have fear of judgment. How many of us do not want to live out loud, live boldly, because we so fearful of people judging us, people talking about us, people saying stuff about us, okay? Or we're worried about how our boldness is going to be perceived by others. How are other people going to be looking at me if I show up in this way, if I show up as my authentic self? Will they think that I'm doing too much? Now, I'm definitely guilty. I won't say guilty, but I say that I know I'm a lot. I already know I'm a lot, and I don't apologize for being a lot, okay? I'm a lot to handle, and I love being a lot. If there's anything that I'm doing, anything that has my name on it, it's not going to be basic. It's not going to be bare minimum. It's going to go above and beyond, because I do the absolute most in the best ways possible, though, okay? In the best ways possible. So if you're worried about people thinking that you're too much, guess what? Let them think that, because you are. Well, I won't say you're too much. You're a lot, but it's nothing wrong with being a lot. So if people think I'm too much, I'll be like, thank you. I appreciate it. I know I can't. Everybody can't handle me. You're not on. You're not on the level, and we're talking about leveling up for this season. So anybody who thinks that you're too much, guess what? They're not for you. So you can't worry about those small-minded people. You're trying to get to the next level, not staying stuck at this other one. Okay, you're trying to go to higher heights, and the people who think you're doing a lot, they don't even know what it takes for you to get to the next level. People, okay, a good example of this is Beyonce. I've never been to a Beyonce concert, but just seeing the different clips and stuff, Beyonce is a lot in the best ways possible. You know, I know if I go to her concert, I'm gonna have the time of my life. I'm gonna probably get more than I bargained for. I'm going to get a whole experience, okay? But she prides herself on being excellent in what she does. And that's the same thing that you need to do. Stop worrying about what people think that you're doing too much. Stop worrying about if people think that you over the top, or it don't take all that. That's what people will say. It don't take all that. It don't take all that for you, maybe. Maybe if you want to be basic and bare minimum, it don't take all that. But I'm trying to be excellent. So sometimes we shrink because we're worried about what other people think, and these people are not even on our level, nor are they even trying to reach the levels that we are trying to attain. So why are we even worried about them? Okay. So just remember that. So don't play small because you fear that people are going to be judging you. Also, this is another reason why you might be playing small. And I have been a victim of this, is imposter syndrome. So despite all the receipts you have, your degrees, your skills, your certifications, your expertise, your wins that you've already had, despite all of that, imposter syndrome will creep in and tell you, ain't nobody gonna pay you for that. Why you think you good enough that somebody is going to trust you to do that? That's what imposter syndrome does. And I have definitely been a victim of it. I shared with you on this channel before, the first time someone paid me thousands of dollars to do a service, I had imposter syndrome in the worst way. And these people sought me out. Like, I didn't even go looking for them. They came looking for me, wanting to pay me thousands of dollars. And I still had imposter syndrome. Like, these people already heard about me. They already seen my receipts. They were already willing to give me the money, and I still doubted myself. Okay. But that's what imposter syndrome will do. You're so scared that people are going to find out you don't know what you're talking about, even though you have receipts, you have data showing that, hey, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm an expert in this area. I know I'm going to deliver excellent service. I know I'm going to deliver excellent product, or whatever it is that you might be selling or offering to someone. You know that. But imposter syndrome will try to create doubt that you are not capable, that they're going to find out that, hey, you're just faking it or something like that. That's what imposter syndrome does. So then when imposter syndrome creeps in, you don't speak up. You don't do that pitch. You don't do your offer to people because you're like, oh my gosh, people are going to find out. Oh my gosh, they're going to realize this is my first business. Oh my gosh, this is my first customer, or this is my first time doing this, or this is my first time speaking in front of these people, or whatever it is that is the first thing that you are trying to do. You're like, oh my gosh, they're going to find out. No, and walk in your excellence, I should say. So you have to have such high confidence, high assurance in yourself that even when those doubts creep in, you still do it anyway. Don't let imposter syndrome take over and cause you to shrink and minimize yourself. Now, something else that causes you to shrink, and then we're going to move on to the topic number 2, because I know you spend a lot of time on this first one, is sometimes you start shrinking because your past failures start speaking real loud. Okay, you have failed before in the past, and because of that, you are letting it keep you from going into your next season, into your next level. Okay, so just because before something flopped, that product didn't sell, the thing that you were trying to launch, it didn't work out, whatever it was, you are thinking and you're ruminating about that, and you're like, what happens if I don't succeed again, or this fails? I've also shared with you on my channel before, my first business that I had, my first time opening up my own practice, or kind of like practicing solo, it didn't work out. It did not work out. And I found out about 4 months in. It took 6 months for me to actually officially get out of it just because of how the things were set up. But about 4 months in, I was like, this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't working. I need to get out of it. And I felt bad because it was my first time in business. As a professional, I should say. First time in business as a professional. My mom and everything, they were excited. She had thrown me a party and everything to celebrate this accomplishment that I had done and everything. And I realized 4 months in, like, this ain't it. Like, this is not it. I need to get out, and I need to get out expeditiously. Okay. And so sometimes when it's time for you to try and start over again, you're still thinking about that time where it didn't work out, that time where you failed, that time where you didn't succeed. And all of that is clouding your mind and clouding your judgment and causing you to shrink and fall back and not do the thing that you need to do. Okay. So don't let that stand in the way. Don't let that cause you to shrink and not go to your next level. So those are just a few things that will cause you to shrink. The second thing I want to mention to you is that you can't shrink when you have opportunities or you have something that you need to offer to people, because when you're bold, your boldness activates opportunities for you. Okay. So when you're bold, boldness bags the blessing. All right. The blessings are in your boldness. Okay. So you have to be bold. You have to speak out, because of visibility, when you're visible, when people can see you, that helps bring access to you. Okay. They have to see you consistently showing up, because that helps them be able to remember who you are. So when I first started this YouTube channel, I was inconsistent as I don't know what. Part of the reason why I do the Tipsy Tuesday and stuff, even though I wasn't on last week, don't judge me. But part of the reason why I said I need to do something where I'm doing something weekly, because it helps me to stay accountable. It helps me to show up. It helps me to be consistent, so that you are consistently seeing me. So I'm consistently exercising and doing the thing that I need to do. If I don't have a set schedule, I might just be posting randomly. I'll upload a video here and there, because that's what I was doing before in the past. But I said, no, I need to create something where every week I'm showing up. And that's why I try to show up at least once a week for you to get content from me. Because when you show up consistently, people are going to see you. They're going to remember you. And then when opportunities arise, they're going to reach out to you. Oftentimes, I get opportunities just from me showing up, from me just being visible, from people seeing me, from seeing me operate in my gift, both with this as well as in my professional job and everything. So that's what creates opportunities. So you have to be visible, because that helps bring the access. Also, when you're bold and you get opportunities or you get approached by opportunities, that boldness, it helps boost your confidence, and your confidence helps create credibility for other people. So when you're confident in what you're doing, when you're confident in what you're pitching, people believe in you. If you have any doubt in your delivery of what you're offering, your product or service, guess what? People are probably not going to want to do business with you. Have you ever, I have interviewed people for jobs and stuff, and I can tell, I won't say immediately, the people I know I'm not going to hire are the people who don't even seem confident during the job interview at all. So if they're not even confident during the job interview, I'm not confident that they're going to do their job. Okay. So you have to build some confidence, because when you build confidence, it builds credibility, and people start believing in you because they see you believing in yourself. So you have to show that confidence to other people to help build your credibility. Because if you've ever been pitched by someone, if someone has ever offered you something and they were very doubtful or just not confident in their delivery, it doesn't really make you want to buy the product. It doesn't really make you want to trust the service or whatever it is that they're offering. So make sure you show up confidently. Remember, because boldness bags the blessings. Okay. So you have to be bold. You have to be confident in the things that you're doing. Also, the other thing along with that, since boldness causes you to have opportunities, boldness will attract collaborations. People who are doing things, people who are doing big things, people who are trying to make things happen, they want to link up with other people who are doing the same thing, okay? They ain't going to link up with somebody who's not bold. They're not going to link up with somebody who's not confident. They're not linking up with people who are doubtful of what they have to offer. They're not linking up with those kind of people, okay? So you have to be confident. You have to be bold because that attracts other people to you, not just people who might want to buy your product or service, but also people who want to work together with you, who want to collaborate with you. And that can create other opportunities for you as well. So being bold, that helps put you in bigger rooms with bigger tables with bigger opportunities. So remember that you got to show up boldly. Your boldness will help bag your blessings. Please, please, please remember that. The boldness will help bag your blessings. So you can't play small. You can't shrink. You can't sit back or anything like that. You got to show up, and you got to show up boldly each and every time so that people will believe in you. People will believe in what you're offering, okay? All right. Now, let's talk about it real quick because I said I'm going to give you a few examples too of people who have shown up boldly. So let's talk about Miss Issa Rae herself. Now, when she started off, she had a little YouTube series going on called Awkward Black Girl. That was on YouTube. Now, Issa is doing movies. We know her from Insecure, all of that, but she still showed up boldly. She still showed up boldly when she was on YouTube so that she could have opportunities now. Now look at her. How you go from, I won't say how you go from, but she went from having a YouTube series to producing television shows, starring in television shows, to producing movies, okay? That's what happens when you're bold and you show up. And her series was called Awkward Black Girl. So even when you don't feel 100%, even when you feel a little off, even when you feel awkward like she does, you still got to show up. You should still have to show up fully. Okay, so just please remember that. All right, the third thing about why you need to stop shrinking is there's a price associated when you play small, okay? Because shrinking costs you more than it can save you, all right? You will miss out on income, you will miss out on impact, and then it also can cause some burnout as well. So we don't want any of that to happen. Now, when it comes to your income, if no one knows what you have to offer, if no one knows what you're selling, how are they going to buy from you? How are they going to support you if you're not telling people about what you have to offer, okay? Also, you might be missing out on income because you're playing small and you're undercharging. Yeah. I'm talking to you, whoever that is. I'm talking to you. I'm going to take a sip on that one. Are you undercharging? Are you undervaluing your services? That's what I want to know. I see that happen quite often. Well, I'm just going to charge this because it's just my first time and I don't know if they're going to buy it. And you know what you have to offer. You just scared to charge the full price. You scared to charge the full price. So you're undercharging for what you have to offer. Also, this is another way people play small and miss out on income. They don't even promote themselves. They think people just going to find them. It does not work that way. People are not going to find you, okay? So you have to get out there. You have to promote yourself. You have to market yourself. You have to let people know what is available, what you're offering, what your service is, how you can help them, okay? Which leads me to the next thing. So when you play small, it's going to cost you. And it causes you to miss out on impact. What I mean by that, your gift, your product, your service, it could be the breakthrough that someone is looking for. What you have to offer could be the answer to somebody's problem. You might have the solution to someone's problem, but because you're playing small, because you're shrinking, because you're not putting yourself out there, that person can't even get their breakthrough. You have the answer that they need, but they don't have access to it because they don't have access to you because you're too scared to show up. You're too scared to market yourself. You're too scared to promote it. You're too scared to talk about your product or your service. And you have exactly what somebody needs. So you're missing out on the impact that you can have, the impact that you can make in someone's life. Okay. So remember, people are waiting for the thing that you have. People are waiting for that product that you have. People are waiting for that service. People are waiting for your gift. So you have to show up. You have to walk in it. You have to do the thing, okay? Please, please, please remember that, all right? You're missing out on impact. Also, when you shrink or you play small, what it also causes you is mental burnout, because you start having some inner conflict, some negative self-talk, some inner dialogue going on, because oftentimes we know we are capable of more, but we're choosing less. I'm going to say that again. You know you are capable of more. You know you should be on a whole nother level. You know God has something so much bigger and better in store for you. You know that there's more out there, and you're capable of it. You're capable of doing more. But you keep settling for less. You keep choosing less when you know you're destined for more. So then that causes inner conflict with yourself. That causes an inner dialogue, because you're wrestling with your greatness. You're wrestling with your gift, and you're choosing not to share it with people. You're choosing to play small. You're choosing less when you're destined for more. Does that even make sense? It doesn't make sense. But a lot of us are doing that. We're settling for less when we know we were destined for more. So then that causes mental conflict within ourselves. And then we get burnt out because we start getting tired and we're fatigued, and we're wondering why we're not getting the support that we need, or we're not at the level that we want, and we're not getting the blessings that we prayed for. And God is like, you ain't even showing up like I'm telling you to. You ain't even offering the stuff like I'm asking you to. How people going to hear about you? How people going to hear about your product, your service, and you're not even telling them? But you want me to bless you? You wanted me to bless what you're trying to hide? What you're trying to keep hidden from other people? How am I supposed to bless that? Because when God blesses you, he doesn't just bless you for you. He blesses you so you can be a blessing to other people. But you're hiding. So how is your blessing going to be able to bless other people when you keep hiding? So shrinking will cost you a lot. So just remember that. And someone who we can reflect on about this is Sarah Jakes Roberts, who is phenomenal, awesome lady. If you have read her book, I read her book a long time ago. It's been like, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago or so that I read her book. But she thought her past disqualified her because she had a child at a young age and stuff like that. She thought her past was going to disqualify her. She thought, the shame, the guilt, all of that disqualified her from walking into her destiny, walking into her future. And look at the phenomenal woman that she is today. Look at the thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who she has touched, who she has blessed, who she has helped, because she decided not to shrink, because she decided not to let the shame overshadow her future. She was able to walk into her destiny. She was able to walk into her calling. And because she didn't shrink, she's helping other people show up boldly. She's helping other people find blessings and find redemption in her ministry. But if she would have believed those lies that the enemy was trying to tell her, that she was not qualified for what God had already destined her to, a lot of us wouldn't even be blessed by the messages that she brings, by the things that she shares, by the people that she helps. So we can't play small at all. Let me see how I'm doing on time. All right, because I'm only on number 3. Let's see. Oh, hold up. I just realized I had a comment. What's up? This is my classmate. Good to see you. Hey, Marlo. She said, I needed this. I'm so glad this is helpful for you. I'm so glad you were on today, too. I hope you are doing well. Let me take a sip and then we're going to get to number 4, y'all. And hopefully, I'm going to try and speed it up because I start talking a little too much so that we can get through all of this. All right. So you need to stop shrinking so you can go to your next level, because when you're hiding, like I told you, that is not humility. Hiding is not humility, okay? So here's some things that you might be doing, signs that you are playing small, and you need to stop doing them, okay? If you are second guessing everything that you're doing, that's a sign you playing small, okay? Why are you asking 10 different people for their opinion about something? Why are we taking a whole survey? Why we got to run a census? Why we got to do a poll? Girl, you know what you're supposed to do. You already you know the play. Go ahead and run it. You don't have to take a survey and get all these different conflicting opinions about from people who don't even know or understand what you're trying to offer, the product and stuff. Stop second guessing yourself. You already know what you need to do. And not only do you know what you need to do, you know what you're doing. You got the skills, you got the expertise, you have the knowledge, you know what you're doing. So you don't need to ask anybody like, hey, you think this is going to work? Hey, you think this is a good idea? Hey, how would you do this? Now, that's not to say don't get advice from people. But if you've gotten advice from somebody who is a trusted friend, a trusted confidant, and they've given you, valuable information, use that. But don't start polling everybody and their mama, posting on social media. What do you think about this? Do you think I should do that? We don't need to do no survey. We this ain't the census, y'all. This ain't the census. Stop second guessing yourself and do the thing. Trust your own instincts. Trust your own instincts. Because here's the thing. Here's what gets me. You don't trust your own instincts. So what makes you think somebody gonna trust you with the product or service that you're offering? You don't even trust yourself. So what makes you think other people gonna trust you? That goes back to what we talked about before, being confident, being bold. You got to trust yourself. You got to trust your gut, trust your instincts, trust that you know enough to do enough so that you can make it happen. Because if you don't trust yourself, other people ain't going to trust you. That's why I said you can tell when people show up confidently, and the people who have who are doubtful in their delivery of what they're offering, people ain't gonna want to buy it. People ain't gonna value it. Even if you have the best thing out there, even if you have the best product, because you don't even trust yourself. You're doubting yourself. So other people are going to doubt you. People feed off of your energy. They can read your energy. So just know that. So stop second guessing yourself, everything that you're doing. So, because that is definitely a sign that you're playing small. Another sign that you're playing small is if you downplay your wins. Okay. If you just brush it off like, oh, it's no big deal. Girl, it is a big deal. You started your business. Congratulations. Don't downplay your wins. You made your first $100 in business. Congratulations. Or your first $1,000 or your first $10,000. Don't downplay it. Celebrate that. Everybody can't do that. People struggling to make $1,000 at their regular job sometimes. Celebrate that. Now, there's a difference. Don't brag. There's a difference between that. But don't brush it off like it's no big deal. Don't downplay your wins, okay? So if someone is making you feel as if you celebrating your wins is you being like bragging or being boastful, they probably not the person that you really need to be around, okay? Because like I said, there's a difference between celebrating your wins and bragging about your wins. If you shared, hey, this is my first time making my first sale or making my first $100 or my first $1,000, celebrate that. Or say, this is the highest amount that I made this month or whatever. Celebrate that. Celebrate those milestones and stop worrying about people thinking that you're being boastful. Okay. Don't downplay your wins. Something else that you might be doing that's a sign that you're playing small is if you're always behind the scenes, but you're the one running the show. You're running the show, but you never take credit for any of it, okay? You out here ghosting your own success because the spotlight, it doesn't seem safe for you. So you making all these things happen, but you're not taking any credit for it. Once again, taking credit for it is not the same thing as bragging about it. All right. There's a way you can do that. Like, yes, this is what I created. You know, like Shonda Rhimes, Ava DuVernay, all those people, those producers and stuff, they behind the scenes, but their name is still on display. And that's the same thing you have to do. You have to take credit for the wins. Like you created this. This is your product. This is your business. This is what you have. Take credit for it, okay? Stop hiding. Stop thinking that the spotlight is not safe for you. Because here's the thing. And everything that I'm telling y'all, I hope y'all don't think like I'm fussing at y'all. Everything I'm telling y'all, I've experienced. So it's all normal. It's all normal for you to experience these things. Just don't stay there, okay? But what I was going to say is oftentimes we're scared of success. Yeah, we are scared of success. We want success. But at the same time, we're scared of success. Because when you're successful, there's a new level of responsibility that comes with it. There's a new level of accountability that comes with it. Success is wonderful, but it can be scary. So don't not be successful just because you're scared to do the thing. When you get to that level, like everybody wants to level up. Everybody wants to go to the next level. Just know when you get to the next level, yes, next levels often bring more money or more exposure, more access, more opportunities. But at the same time, new levels also bring more responsibility, more accountability, more self-awareness that you have to be able, more self-discipline as well. So oftentimes we're scared of the success because we know, hey, I'm going to get the more money, but am I going to be responsible with the money? Am I going to be able to manage the money? Am I going to be able to manage the success? So we want the success, but at the same time, we're scared of it at the same doggone time. And you can't play small just because you're scared of going to the next level. You have to trust that you are equipped for that. You have to trust that not only will you get the money, but you're going to be able to handle the money. You're going to be able to manage the money. You're going to be responsible with it. You have to trust yourself to be able to do that. And if you've been operating your business and doing the things like you're supposed to do, then when that time comes, you'll be able to walk into that gracefully. And even if it's not so graceful, you'll figure it out, because some of my stuff ain't been so graceful either. But I figured it out, okay? All right, so that was the fourth thing. So next up that we have when we're talking about playing small is that I want you to figure out how you can build your boldness, all right? So we're going to talk about how you can build your boldness, because boldness can be built. So if you feel like, girl, I don't know, I don't be showing up like that, I'm kind of scared to do all of this, like I'm not like you. And y'all, I am an introvert at heart. I do not like to be the center of attention. I know it might not seem like that because I come on here and I do these different videos, but I'm really pretty low key. Like I don't mess with too many people. I have a small circle of friends. I don't let too many people in. Like I don't like big crowds and all that kind of stuff. But when it's time for me to show up, I show up and I show out. If it's something that I need to do, if it's something that I know that's going to help me, if it's something that I know is going to help my business, help me be successful, I show up. I play the role. I play the part, okay? Even though I'm very introverted, okay? I show up when I need to. I show up when I have to. I show up because I need my bag to show up, okay? I got to secure the bag. So I do what is required, even if it's not always comfortable, okay? So like I said, I know y'all probably don't think that, but I'm very low key. Like I said, I could easily stay in the background and not be seen and stuff like that. But when it comes to business, when it comes to my money, I know I have to show up. I know I have to be on. I know I have to take it to another level, because that's how I get to another level. Okay. But anyway, so the fifth thing was boldness can be built. So you can build boldness. I am definitely an example of you can build boldness. And so how you can build boldness is first just take some baby steps. Just take baby risks. So start off small. Maybe it's doing your first YouTube live, your first Facebook live, your first IG live. Maybe it's pitching that email or raising your rates just by a small amount. Those little small steps, they help build your muscle. And I'll share something with you. So the other day, it was my first time going live in my car. Like usually I'm in my home, in my office or something like that. I'm sitting there. I said, you know what? I got something to share. I want to share it, but I don't really have time once I would get home to share. I said, let me see about sharing it as I'm driving home or whatever. So I shared it in my car. I don't know if y'all saw the video. If you haven't seen the video, definitely check it out. It's on my YouTube and my Facebook page. If it was a video to try and encourage you, but even if you like, I don't need no encouragement. If you want a little laugh, check out the video. Cause y'all, if you haven't seen the video, what happened is I went live in my car, and for the very, very first time, with my little camera set up, my little car, the little phone holder in the car and everything like that. Y'all tell me why. I made a turn. Next thing I know, the phone, it done flew off of the little the little car holder. It's on the floor, and I'm live. And I told my husband about it too, because I was just laughing at myself afterwards and everything. I said, babe, I couldn't even stop the camera or nothing because I said I didn't even know where the phone was or whatever. And he was like, you should have deleted the video. I said, no, I ain't gonna delete the video. I said, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can? So I'm not gonna delete the video so y'all can see just the things that I experienced. So it's my first time going live in a car. But even though it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out, guess what? Your girl will be on live again. I don't mind going live again because it wasn't that bad. Even with the camera, the phone flying off of the phone holder and everything, it wasn't that bad. So I will do it again. I just got to get a better holder and everything. So your boldness can be built. Just take some baby steps. Whatever it is, however it looks like, it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. Like if I did all that, you're going to be good, okay? Something else that will help you build your boldness is to affirm yourself. Affirm yourself out loud, okay? Because the inner dialogue, it can become reality. And I did an affirmation challenge last month that you can also check out and see with the money affirmations, so that you can start speaking life over yourself, over your skills, over your business, over your worth, over your vision that you have for yourself, okay? Speak those affirmations, even if your voice shakes, even if you feel nervous, even if you are, just not sure. Speak those affirmations so that your inner dialogue can start helping you to take action, so that your outer dialogue or your outer actions match up with what you're telling and saying to yourself. Something else to help build your boldness is just practice having uncomfortable conversations. All right. Talk about money. Talk about asking for the sale. Set boundaries with your clients. Okay. Set growth goals. Okay. Set finance goals, money goals. Start doing those things. Do the things that are uncomfortable to you. Because as you start doing the things that are uncomfortable, they start becoming more comfortable, okay? But if you never do them, you're going to stay in that zone of uncomfortability, okay? So practice having uncomfortable conversations. Practice telling your clients, no, I'm unable to do that because my time constraints will not allow. Or if you would like for me to provide that service, that's going to be an additional $200. You practice having those conversations, because when you encounter those conversations, guess what? You shrink, and then you don't say the necessary things that need to be said. And then you're kind of upset with yourself, and you might get upset with the client or something because now you're doing stuff that you don't really want to do, and they ain't even really pay you to do because you were too scared to tell them no, or too scared to ask them for the price that the service was really valued at. Okay. So practice having those uncomfortable conversations. Okay. That's what helps make it easier for you. Okay. And I'll give you an example too. So with me having my own business, I remember the first time I had to fire somebody. You would think, that, why would I be nervous and hesitant about firing somebody? Like, this person is not doing my business justice. This person needs to go. And I was nervous to have the conversation, but I had it. Sometimes these tough conversations have to be had. And then when it's time to let somebody else go, at my office, it was still uncomfortable, but I will say it got a little bit, I won't say better, because, letting somebody go is not an easy thing to do, but it didn't feel as uncomfortable. All right. So you just have to practice having those uncomfortable conversations. All right. All right. Moving along. Number 6. So this one is going to be focusing on how you need to be visible, because you can't serve what you can't see. All right. You can't serve what you can't see. All right. You can't serve the people if they can't see you, if they don't know that you're out there. Okay. We talked about this a little bit earlier. People will support what they see. So if you're not visible online, if you're not visible in your community, then you're going to be easy to forget. Okay. So you have to stay top of mind so that people can support you. Also, like I was sharing with you guys before, that I'm coming on consistently. Like, I had to give myself a set time that I would come on so that I could consistently post videos on the channel, because consistency builds trust, and people will invest in people who they trust. Like, there's a saying in business when it comes to like selling products: people buy from people they know, people they like, and people who they trust. Okay. So that know, like, and trust thing. So when you're consistent, people will start trusting you. And then, but the only way they can start trusting you is if they're seeing you on a regular basis. Okay. And that's whether you're doing videos, that's whether you're doing posts, however you interact with your customer base, you need to be making sure that you are building that trust and being consistent with building the trust. And also, going back to, you can't serve what you can't, who you can't see. You need to make sure that your gift, your product, your service, it has a platform. Okay. Just giving your offer, that isn't enough. That's not enough. Like, where are you going to present it at? What is the platform that you're going to be using? Okay. You need a visibility and you need a strategy so that you can serve the people, so that they can start getting your product, so that they can start getting your service. Okay. Because your business can't grow in secret. What you don't want to be is the best kept secret. You know how people say, I'm the best kept secret. Like, that's not what I want. I don't want to be the best kept secret. I need everybody and their mama to know me so that they can support me. I don't want to be the best kept secret. Okay. So don't make that the goal for you in your business as well. All right. Let me take a sip and let me check in. And I see I have another comment. What's up, Shayna? Good to see you. I'm glad you were able to join as well. All right, let me see. How am I doing? Oh, y'all, I really got to speed it up. Okay, because I need to be wrapping this up. So we only got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 more things to do. 4 more topics to touch upon. All right, so the next thing I want you to do so that you can stop playing small is I need you to start using your story. All right. Turn your test into a TED Talk, or turn your test into a testimony. Share your story with people, and not just the successes. Share the stuff where you messed up with. Like I said, this is why I have my channel here. I don't want anybody to go through and make the same mistakes that I made. Okay. When it comes to business. So that's why I share stuff with you. That's why I share, things that went wrong in business, things that I try to avoid, because I don't want anyone to have to go through what I went through. Okay. So share your story and share everything, not just the successes, because people will relate to your struggles. So, because if you look like you're perfect, people aren't going to relate to you, because ain't nobody perfect. All right. So if you're putting out this perfect, polished picture of yourself, people are not necessarily going to gravitate to you, because they know, they're already like, well, I'm not like that. I'm not perfect. I have these issues going on, or I can't quite do that. Okay. So when you share your struggles as well as your successes, people are able to relate to you more. Okay. So don't just show your wins, show what those wins cost you. Like, okay, because that's also what a lot of people look at too. When we just show our wins, people don't know any of the backstory behind it. Okay. Just like when we look at celebrities, we look at this and we glamorize them and the money they make and the opportunities they have, but we don't know what sacrifices they made. We don't know what it cost them to even be able to get to that level or to achieve that level. So share your wins, but also share the costs that came along with it, the things that you had to sacrifice in order to get to that particular level. Also, your transparency, it helps to build trust, okay? Because you're showing that you're real, like we've said before. People want to see your humanity. They want to see that you're human. They want to see that you're not perfect, okay? When they see that, they're able to more trust your leadership and what you have to offer. And when you share your story, that helps unlock someone else's story, okay? When you own your truth, it gives other people permission to do the same thing and want to share their story and share their truth as well. So make sure you're doing that, because you're literally giving people permission to open up, because you're saying it's okay. I'm not perfect. This is what happened. This is what I went through. This is how I got to that level. This is how I was able to achieve that. This is where I messed up on. And this is what I was able to avoid. So when you create that safe space for people, then they start opening up and they start sharing their story as well. Okay. Now, number 8. This one is one of my favorites. Okay. This one, I want y'all to remember, and I'm going to say it with my whole chest. Stop apologizing for being dope. Like, I will never apologize for being dope. I will never apologize for being who I am. I will never apologize for being excellent. I will never apologize for being great. I will never apologize for being awesome. Okay? I'm not going to apologize for being dope. I am not going to do that. Okay? Excellence isn't arrogance. I can't help it if I operate in I can't help it. I can't help you that you upset because I operate in excellence. I'm not apologizing for it. Everybody should be striving for excellence. Everybody should be striving for greatness. Like who says I want to be average? Who says I want to be basic? Who says I want to be mediocre? Who says that? I don't know anybody who says that. So I'm not going to apologize for being great. I'm not going to apologize because I'm doing well. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not going to apologize that I have goals that I've set for myself. I'm not going to apologize because I want to do better. I'm not going to apologize because I want to see my family doing better. I'm not going to apologize because I want to try and leave a legacy. No, absolutely not. You want me to be basic? Why? So you can feel better about yourself? If anything, when I see people doing awesome and amazing things, it inspires me. It encourages me. It helps me to go harder. It helps me to work harder to go after the things that I want to achieve. If you see somebody being great, if you see somebody being excellent, if you see somebody achieving stuff and being successful and it makes you feel bad, I don't know what to tell you, because when I see that stuff, it motivates me. It encourages me. It inspires me. So no, I'm never going to apologize for being excellent. I'm never going to apologize when I succeed or when I achieve certain things. I'm not apologizing for being dope. I'm not apologizing for being great. If you're not happy with that, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem, because I'm already great. I'm already excellent. But and this is, like I said, this is not arrogance, because every day I tell my kids this too. I'm always striving to be better than I was the day before. I'm always striving to see how can I improve? What can I learn? How can I be better? How can I operate in excellence? How can I do awesome and amazing things? I just want to be a better version of me. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not comparing myself to anybody. The only person I'm comparing myself to is who I was yesterday. That's all I'm comparing myself to, because I want to be better for me. That's just a goal that I have for me. I just want to be the best version of myself possible. And anytime I see myself lacking, anytime I see myself knowing that I could do a little bit better, I could do a little bit more, then I try and do that. I just told somebody the other day, I said, the more I know, the more I realize what I don't know. So I'm always constantly learning, because as I learn more stuff, I realize there's a lot of stuff I still don't know. And so that makes me hungry to want to learn even more. So that's why I say the more I know, the more I realize what I don't know. So every day I'm just trying to be better than I was the day before. And I'm not apologizing for it. I'm not apologizing because I'm trying to be great. I'm not apologizing because I'm trying to be awesome. So you don't need to apologize for being dope, okay? And the reason why, I know I said a whole lot. When you shine, that doesn't dull other people. It doesn't take away from other people. Your light doesn't take away from anyone else. If anything, if they're already shining their light, you're going to shine brighter. We're all going to shine together. Like, what does Lizzo say? If I'm shining, everybody going to shine. That's how it works. Light feeds off of each other. Light casts out darkness. So even the people who ain't shining, guess what? Because I got a little bit of light, you gonna shine too. So my light doesn't take away from your light. If anything, it magnifies it. So let's all shine bright together, all right? So, and when you shine bright, when you operate like that, it gives other people permission to do the same thing. And like I said at the beginning, I know I can be a lot, but you're not too much. When you shine, when you're awesome, when you're dope like that, it just shows that you're prepared. You have prepared, you have put in the work, you have worked hard to do the things and achieve the things that you're doing. So bold execution isn't arrogance. It's not arrogance at all. So everyone should be striving for excellence. Everyone should be striving for awesomeness. Everyone should be striving to be great. Okay. And anybody who ain't clapping for you, they ain't the right people, because the right people will clap for you. Like I said, when I see people doing awesome things and amazing things, I don't think like, dang, they just stole that opportunity from me. No, I'm like, go ahead. I'm excited. Y'all, let me tell you about it. So, y'all know Tabitha Brown. I don't know if y'all familiar with Tabitha Brown, but I was watching the game the other day and I saw her doing the commercial. Y'all, I was so excited for her. I was so hyped up for her. I was like, look, I told my husband, I was like, look at Tab. I said, look at Tab doing her thing. And she started off doing videos in her car. Now she on TV during the NBA playoff game doing commercials. Go ahead, Tab. I'm happy for her. Her light just adds to my light. When she shines bright, we all shine a little bit brighter. That's how it should be. So never apologize for being dope. Never apologize for being awesome. If anything, you shining your light. Help shine light in other areas. Help shine light where there's darkness, okay? So the right people, they're going to clap for you. The right people, they're going to be happy for you. When you're succeeding, people should be happy about that. They shouldn't feel bad. If they do, that's a them problem. That's not a you problem. That's a them problem, okay? So if they're uncomfortable with your shine, those are just not the people for you, because the right people, they're going to support when you're elevated and when you're going and achieving your next level. And this season is about leveling up. So all of us should be trying to level up, okay? So if they mad because they stuck at level 0 and you at level 3, that's on them. Work harder. Ask me how I got there. I'm willing to help, because usually people who shine brightly, who are awesome, who are operating in excellence, they don't mind helping other people. They don't mind sharing what they know, okay? So just remember that, all right? So never apologize for being dope at all, at all. And I talked about Beyonce earlier too, how she operates at a level of excellence. You think she apologized for the over-the-top shows that she do, for all the different things, how particular she is? You think she apologized for that? No, because we enjoy it. We enjoy the show. Well, the right people, her supporters, her fans, they're going to enjoy the show. They're going to be like, look at what she did. Look at how she created this. Look at how creative she is and all that kind of stuff. We're going to celebrate it. She ain't going to apologize for being the best. She ain't going to apologize for operating her excellence. Are you crazy? No. So why should you? Why should you apologize because you're trying to be great, that you're trying to be better? Don't apologize. It's not arrogance. Excellence isn't arrogance, okay? All right. And number 9, the 9th thing I have to make sure that you're not shrinking and that you're operating boldly. And what you should be doing is that bold doesn't mean loud, okay? We got to start redefining what bold looks like. Just because my presence is big, that doesn't mean that I'm trying to overshadow you. Okay. So we have to kind of shift that narrative. Okay. Um, that bold doesn't always mean loud, because people can walk into a room, especially like I said, I'm usually very low key, quiet, but when I'm in my element, I can command a room. Like this is my area of expertise. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and I'm gonna operate in excellence. So you don't always have to be loud all the time, or you don't have to shout. Some of the people will just be shouting and making noise. That's all they doing is shouting and making noise. So don't think when I say be bold, it's all about being loud. It's just operating in your excellence. It's operating in your gift, okay? And that doesn't always have to mean like you're being loud and shouting and overshadowing people or anything like that. It's just that, hey, you just in your bag. That's all it is, okay? So you don't have to shout. The people who will get it will get it. All right. So being bold doesn't mean you have to yell or scream and try and get attention or anything like that. That's not what it means. So don't hear me or misunderstand me when I'm saying that. That's not what it means. When you're in your element and when you're doing and operating in your own God-given talent, people are going to sit up and they're going to take notice, and you ain't going to have to scream and shout or do anything like that, because you're just doing what you're already supposed to do. Okay. And with that being said, quiet confidence will shift rooms. All right. It's not just about your energy, it's about your certainty. You have to know what you bring. Like when I walk into a room, I bring my confidence. Even if I've never done it before, I'm going to show up confident, and that shifts rooms. And I've done that. Y'all know I've done different side hustles and things of that nature. My notary side hustle. Even when I done things for the first time, I remember my first wedding ceremony that I did. Y'all, I showed up in there like I've been doing it for years. First, it was my first one, but I came in there with a certain confidence because I needed them to believe in me because I believed in myself. And I wanted them to have a good experience. I wanted them to have an awesome wedding. This is I won't say once, it should be a once in a lifetime thing usually. So I wanted it to be awesome. So I showed up awesome. Okay. But I didn't come in there screaming, shouting, or saying, hey, I've been doing this or whatever. I came in there with the confidence that I have, and it wasn't loud, but it was just a certain presence that I brought, and I was certain about what I needed to do, and I was certain about how I knew I could handle it. So that's what sometimes being bold is not about being loud, but it's about being confident and certain in what you have and what you offer and how you carry yourself in the room. Okay. And just remember, your authenticity, that can be your loudest flex. That's going to speak louder than anything else. You just being your authentic self. Okay. So you don't have to shift and change and do anything different. Just show up as your true self. Don't try and be, trendy or anything like that. Just show up as yourself, because that's the best and the boldest move that you can make. Just be you. Be you. Show up as you. Okay. That's all you got to do. And the last thing I have is, this is not your season to shrink. Okay. So I want you to take that away with you. Do not shrink in this season. This is not your season to shrink. So in order for you to show up in and go to the next level, because we're not shrinking this season, I need you to do the following. First thing I want you to do is I want you to show up fully. So what that might look like is, make sure you dress nice. You wear that outfit that gives you the most confidence. Okay. You say your title. If you've achieved something, you got degrees and stuff like that, say your title. Yes, I'm the owner. I'm the creator. I'm the founder of this, or whatever your title is. I speak it. Let people know. Yes, I'm the one over this. Okay. I want you to also, when I say show up fully, you state your rate. You state your fees, and you state it with confidence, not cockiness. There's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. All right. Don't get it twisted. Show up with confidence and state your rates. Be confident in the price that you present to people, as well as be confident that in your price because you're confident in the service and the value that you provide to them. Okay. So that's what I need you to do. And also, what I want you to do, or what I want you to stop doing, is stop qualifying your brilliance. Stop qualifying your expertise. Okay. You don't need to qualify it with anything. All right. You are enough just as you are. And here's another way that something else I want you to do so you're not shrinking in this season and that you are showing up boldly is I want you to say yes to that next big thing. All right. Stop postponing your elevation. What do you need to say yes to? What have you been procrastinating on? What have you been putting off? What have you been postponing that you know will take you to their next level? Okay. Like we talked about before, a lot of us know we are capable for more, but we keep settling for less. So say yes to that next big thing that is going to take you to your next level, okay? And that could be the opportunity that you're scared of, that you're afraid of, but you got to say yes to it and you're going to figure it out along the way, all right? Figure it out along the way. And chances are you are already equipped with everything you need. You are already equipped with everything you need. So you're going to make it happen. All right. And the last and final thing that I want you to do so that you are not shrinking in this season is commit to making one bold move this week. That's right. I want you to make one bold move this week, whatever that might be. It could be going live because you've been terrified of going live and being on video or something like that. I want you to go live, create the video. I want you to raise your rates. It might be you know you needed to increase your price. You know people are loving what you have to offer and you've been undercharging for so long. You might need to raise your rates. That might be the bold move that you need to make. Okay. Maybe the bold move you need to make, it might be you just need to share your story with people. Like you're so scared to tell people about what you do, to tell people what you have to offer because you think people are going to judge you because people already know your past. People knew what you were doing before and they might judge you because now you're trying to do something a little bit different. Now you're trying to operate in some excellence. So you're scared to share your story. Okay. Make that bold move this week. Commit to doing that. Whatever that might look like. Okay. So that's all I have. I'm not even going to do a recap because y'all, we are over time, but I want you to pick an area where you've been shrinking. Like what I mentioned earlier, it could be your rates. It could be your voice, you sharing your story. It could be your visibility. You haven't been showing up like you're supposed to. You haven't been promoting your stuff how you're supposed to. Pick one area where you've been shrinking. And then drop one bold move you're committed to doing, that you're committing to making this week. Put it in the comments so I can encourage you because I want to see what bold moves are you going to be making this week so I can cheer you on because I love hyping people up. I love seeing people reach their goals. I love hearing about people going to the next level. Okay. So whatever that bold move is that you're going to make, put it in the comments so I can encourage you on today. Okay. Because I want us to grow together and I want us to be successful together and I want us to achieve awesome and amazing things because we ain't apologizing for being dope. And this is our season for leveling up. And if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like the video, share the video with someone who you think can benefit from it, and be sure to tune in again on next Tuesday for another episode of Tipsy Tuesday. And also, if you like the video, put in the comment section too, hashtag too big to shrink. And I'm actually going to put it in right now. We are too big to shrink. And then with that, I am going to wrap it up. So until next time, everyone, take care.